Oh, I was blown away when I first saw this incredible castle creation. It's just breathtakingly beautiful. So let's take a deeper look at all the phenomenal building techniques and some of the clever ideas that went into making this stunning LEGO creation. And hopefully, we'll walk away with a little bit of inspiration. Let's get started. This incredible LEGO creation was built by Brickleys, and it's called the Chapel of So. I think something that makes this MOC stand out for me is all the wonderful organic forms. The architecture is so unique and it's so pretty. It's very reminiscent of Elvish architecture. Here's a few different Elvish designs from like the Lord of the Rings and other random images from Google. A lot of Elvish architecture takes a lot of inspiration from Art Nouveau inspired artworks. Like the buildings here, they're known for their flowing and organic shapes, rather than more rigid lines and sharper angles. The structures also have like curved lines or gentle transitions between elements. Elegance and grace, they're really at the forefront and at the core of everything within this kind of design. And we can certainly see that on this build. This creation is littered with all sorts of these flexible whip elements, and they certainly communicate the same elegance that we discussed earlier with that elven architecture, and the way that they mimic this beautiful like carved wood on this stylish door, or how they've turned these glass panes into a very sophisticated looking window that is just perfect for a medieval fantasy world. It's really something special. Something else I love on this brilliant light bluish grey structure is the fact that there's all this beautiful plant life on the inside. A lot of castle MOCs out there, they can be these gorgeous stone structures, really imposing, really beautiful. Maybe they don't have an interior, or if they do, it's a more typical castle interior. Nothing wrong with that, of course, but I don't know, I love how different this feels. While it is described as a chapel, it looks like it's a fantasy greenhouse that's home to all sorts of brilliant and exotic plants. It just feels so refreshing and different from all the other castle creations that are out there. It's rare to see so much plant life inside a castle. And man, how nice do those bright colours look when they just stand out up against the light bluish grey here? It's good for all the right reasons. Oh, and speaking of bright colours, the lime landscape is just perfection. Now, I normally dislike seeing lime on landscapes because it's just such a bright colour and you really don't see plant life that's that much of a like synthetic, striking, in-your-face colour of green. But making this the predominant shade of green, I think it works really well here because it's so obviously fitting for a fantasy world. The joyful, bright colours, they're so whimsical and almost a little bit magical. It's just a delight and it's so fitting. Plus, these days LEGO makes so many plant pieces in all sorts of different colours. It's great to see builders taking advantage of that and using it for their landscapes. Maybe like 5 or 10 years ago, you'd kind of struggle to build a landscape of this colour, because there just simply weren't pieces in those colours. Back in the day, you kind of were just limited to purely green landscape and that was it. There's so many more creative possibilities due to the wealth of new plant pieces and new colours that we have too. But there are a couple small hints of spring green pieces scattered across this lime landscape. Like a bunch of these spring green claw pieces here. This is a great way to just add that little subtle bit of contrast, but still keep it within that same magical vibe. It's always lovely to see a bit of variation like this. Oh, dude, and I'm in love with this rock work. The small, isolated rock cylinders are stunning. Again, this MOC breaks new ground and presents a very different way of building rock work. This isn't your standard slope on top of slope building style. It's genius, it's new, it's different, and the end result is honestly really inspiring. Seeing this in person at the Skabeck Fan Weekend in Denmark, it left me wanting to build something similar. And hey, it's a good LEGO creation when you look at it and you immediately want to go build something yourself. Hopefully you feel the same way. Another lovely detail is this tree design. It's using a few modern elements that are somewhat common these days to create a very graceful tree design. So there's kind of 3 parts to this tree. The large central area here uses these huge macaroni pieces. Here they are on Bricklink, and they've appeared in a few recent sets, like the Friends Botanical Garden set, as well as a few Dream sets like this Treehouse set here. By the way, both of these sets are incredible parts packs. If you're looking to buy a set purely for pieces to build MOCs with, I recommend these 2 stunning sets. So with this macaroni element section, it seems that it just ends on a snot brick, similar to this one, and then it literally branches off with some clip elements here so that the leaves can attach on. The other part of this tree uses these 2 tail elements, the sort of smaller end and the slightly larger middle section there. Both of these pieces appear in some recent Jurassic Park sets, like this Brachiosaurus Discovery set. It seems that the leaves are attached with some Exoforce robot arms and then these handlebar pieces so that the leaves can branch off. And then the back area here just spams these round bricks and ends with a tail element to attach the leaves. Yeah, when you break it down, it's not all that complex of a design, but man, it looks so good, doesn't it? Oh, and the best little detail is this frog piece at the bottom that's been used as a little root. What a clever and fun part use. Now let's finish off with a cheeky behind the scenes look at the back of this MOC. Now, it's not the most pretty, but that's kind of the point, right? You're not really going to look at this from behind, so why bother giving it much attention? Plus, if you're in the middle of the classic con crunch and you're scrambling to finish your build in time for the LEGO convention, just do this. No one's gonna care. As long as it looks great from the front, that's all that matters. So I hope you enjoyed that little deep dive into this just uniquely beautiful fantasy creation. Now Brickley's never mentioned it, but it does look like it's taking some inspiration from this concept art for the game RuneScape. But it's nice to see that they have added their own unique flair to the design and changed things up a bit, made it more uniquely them. That's awesome. And while we're talking about the creator of this MOC, be sure to give them a follow on their social media. I'll have some links to that in the description below. Let them know what you think of their MOC, because they did a stunning job, and any support you can give them is always appreciated. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Happy building, and bye for now.